Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about the point-slope form of a linear equation. So let's suppose that we know that a line passes through a specific point with a given slope. We can quickly write an equation of the line using the x and y coordinates of the point that's given, as well as the slope. In more generic terms, it'll look something like this. The point-slope form of the equation of a non-vertical line that passes through the point x sub 1 and y sub 1, because remember, x sub 1 and y sub 1 refers to whatever point is given, and with slope m. M will designate slope. Now there are a couple of different approaches for how we can find the equation of a line and writing it in point-slope form. This is one example. Here it says to write the equation of the line with the slope of -3 that passes through the point -1, 7. So all we're doing is plugging these values into the point-slope form to get the equation of our line. So remember, this is point-slope form. Point-slope form isn't very common, but when it does pop up, it's nice to know because we can set it up and then find the equation of our line. So I'll plug in -1 for x sub 1, 7 for y sub 1, and -3 for m. So this is y minus 7 equal to -3 times x minus -1. When you do that, that's x plus 1. Subtraction of a negative. And that is the equation of the line in point-slope form. There might be a step that says to take it one step further and write it in slope-intercept form, which typically is the nicer way to look at a linear equation, so we know exactly what the slope and what the y-intercept is. And all we do is 2 more steps. From here we distribute that slope to the parentheses. That gives us, in this case, -3x minus 3, and then writing y minus 7 over here. Last thing we do is add 7 over. Canceling that out. And that gives us y equals -3x plus 4. This is slope-intercept form, and this right here was point-slope form. Technically, we could have stopped here because it said to write the equation of the line passing through that slope and passing through that point, but majority of the time, writing something in slope-intercept form is a nicer way to end this type of problem. Now I'll show you one more example, because there may come a time when we're asked if we know 2 points on the line. Here we're given 2 points. If we know 2 points on a line, first we use them to find the slope, and then we write the equation using either point. And that's what's nice about these kinds of problems, is that we have that flexibility. We can pick either point to write the equation of the line. First thing we got to do is find out what the slope is. So this would be -2 minus -4 over 3 minus -3. This will not give me a 0 slope because, or an undefined slope, because these are 2 different values of 3. -2 minus -4 over 3 minus -3, that gives me 2 over 6, and I'll just reduce this to 1/3. Now, we pick either point. It does not matter because we will get the same equation regardless. Let's choose this one. So that's y minus -2. Actually, I'll just change that to y plus 2 to make it a little easier. So y plus 2 equals 1/3 x minus 3. Here is the equation written in point-slope form. Again, we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to write it in slope-intercept form to get that specific equation for this line. We distribute the slope to every point, and this one works out nicely because 1/3 and -3 are related. So this is 1/3 x minus 1. 1/3 times -3 gives me -1. Last thing we do is subtract 2. And I'll just write it up here. The final answer for the equation of the line passing through those 2 points will be y equals 1/3 x minus 3. And again, it did not matter which point I went with. I would have gotten the same answer either way. And those are the forms that we can see linear equations. That's the third one we've talked about. Slope-intercept was the first one. We just did standard form in the previous video, and now we have point-slope form. 3 different ways to represent a linear equation. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.